Minasan, konnichiwa. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we want to do a review of Boruto chapter 49, which is called Prepared. So basically what I want to talk about is the arrival of Isshiki in Konoha, the confrontation between Naruto and Isshiki, the preparation of Uchiha Sasuke around the circumstance that they are confronted with. Now, let's start with the arrival of Isshiki in Konoha. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the arrival of Isshiki in Konoha in comparison to the arrival of Pain in Konoha. But I think the difference here that I've noticed in this chapter is that Isshiki he's got a gentle approach to things, and he's very calm, and he's only interested in retrieving Kawaki, not in the destruction and destroying of the village itself. And with Pain didn't mind to destroy the village, whereas here what I see is that this guy Isshiki Otsutsuki is not interested in destroying the village, and he just wants to retrieve Kawaki. And all the civilians and everybody around the village, the shinobis and everyone around the village has been told to evacuate, and we're also told not to confront Isshiki. But however, as we can see from the main gate, as Isshiki has landed on the village, we see one shinobi confronting Isshiki. And that shinobi was easily taken out, and Isshiki would shrink the size of those shurikens thrown at him, and he threw it back to the shinobi and injuring him in the process. And all of this information, as Naruto left his office of the Hokage and running to the battle scene or to confront Isshiki, that he was being informed as he was rushing to the confrontation point. Now, what's also exciting to see is that Shikamaru and the other Konoha shinobis are trying to protect Kawaki. In this case, they want Kawaki out of the scene, and they're taking him into an evacuation location or venue, which also Amada is going to be taken to that evacuation. And what's also nice to see is that these guys, in terms of evacuation, they've prepared for abilities like Byakugan. I don't know how did they do it, because Byakugan can see through walls. I don't know how did they prepare a venue that can protect them from abilities of the Byakugan. I'm sure it can also protect them from abilities like Rinnegan and Sharingans. Now, Sasuke on the other side is doing his preparation before heading out to confront Isshiki. Now, while Naruto is confronting Isshiki, we can sort of see the difference in strength. Naruto is unable to hold his own against Isshiki Otsutsuki. And at the same time, we sort of see that Isshiki is surprised that Naruto was able to undo the sealing jutsu, which he did to seal him away when he was still in Jigen's form. Now, heading back to Sasuke, we sort of see that Sasuke, in his preparation, he's aiming to use Boruto and Boruto's Kama Seal, and also through the Kama Seal, he's hoping, this is my thinking, he's hoping that Momoshiki would come out like he did in the battle against Boruto. Momoshiki would come out, and he's also prepared if Momoshiki or Boruto can be out of control. He's also prepared to eliminate or to kill Boruto in the process, because he says, I'm your teacher, I'm willing to do what needs to be done to protect the village, unlike your father, who would not be willing to kill you. Now, this is exciting to see that this is what is happening. Sasuke is willing to go this far in order to protect Konoha, and also to see that Sasuke's strategy is to use Momoshiki. And I think that was some excellent thinking around Sasuke's strategies in terms of trying to use Momoshiki against Isshiki. And I think maybe the benefit of trying to do that, maybe we'll see in the next few chapters as we go on, would be that Momoshiki would have more information around Isshiki and would know the weaknesses, more weaknesses than Amada did in terms of the Otsutsukis. And And this is some of the things that are quite exciting about this chapter, and I think it's quite an interesting read when you can go into it and look at these interesting factors that are happening around these chapters. Now, as we go on to the confrontation between Naruto and Isshiki, you can sort of see that Naruto or Isshiki was just saying that he wasn't expecting to see Naruto in the village, and Isshiki and Naruto responds by saying that, well, we've got capable shinobis in this village. If you are getting a cold feet, feel free to go home. And Isshiki responding saying that, oh, I shall, after I'm done. So where's Kawaki? And now Isshiki does not want to waste time. He just needs to get what he's here for. And that's the nice thing about Isshiki is he just wants to get Kawaki, even if these guys are trying to stop him. But which means that if you think about it for a second, he's only confronting these guys in battle because he wants to reclaim Kawaki. For that purpose only. And nothing else. He's not interested in fighting, and he's not interested in confronting anyone in battle. He just wants to retrieve Kawaki, and that's very interesting to see. But another question that you would ask yourself is, how far is he willing to go to get this? And I think he's willing to go all out because he doesn't have a choice in this moment or in the situation that he's in. Because if he doesn't get Kawaki, he might die in 3 days, as stipulated in the previous chapters. We sort of see the confrontation battle confrontation between Sasuke and between Naruto and Isshiki continues. Naruto entering his Kyuubi chakra mode and trying to battle, and also realizing that this guy is far more stronger in with his combat abilities, and his taijutsu skills are far better than Naruto's taijutsu skills. Naruto is worried about this guy destroying the village. And the next thing we see Sasuke arriving in the battle scene as well. And we sort of see that our Isshiki is just saying annoying Rinnegan. So now with that comment, it means there's some level of respect from Isshiki around Uchiha Sasuke obtaining the Rinnegan or possessing the Rinnegan. And I think for me, just for saying that statement, it shows that there's a level of acknowledgement that you see coming from Isshiki, acknowledging the fact that this guy's got a Rinnegan, and that could be a dangerous thing to possess. And now, but even having acknowledged that this could be a dangerous thing to possess, Isshiki is still confident that beating these guys would be easy for him. Now, without wasting time, we see Sasuke throwing some shuriken, asking Naruto to cover him as he tries to attack Isshiki Otsutsuki. Now we see Sasuke throwing some shuriken at Isshiki, and now Naruto is saying there's no use. But Sasuke has thrown a sword, and in this sword, Isshiki is trying to shrink the sword, and without success. And it is the analysis of Uchiha Sasuke that had led to this opportunity of throwing a sword like this, which was instead not a sword, which was a transformation jutsu into a sword, where Boruto transformed himself into a sword and was thrown into Isshiki. And what is important to note is that this is a transformation jutsu where already Boruto has activated his Karma Seal. And also another thing that we've noticed and we've learned is that the jutsu of shrinking cannot shrink living objects. And that's another thing that Sasuke has analyzed and is using it very effectively in this battle, in the beginning of this battle. As we see Boruto being thrown, and we sort of see that now Boruto, after that short preparation from Sasuke, Boruto was now able to use the teleportation ninjutsu as well. And from there, he used the teleportation ninjutsu and was able to transport Isshiki and himself into another dimension. And Uchiha Sasuke was able to follow their chakra, and together with Naruto, they left the village and went into that dimension. And I think if we stop right there and think about this for a second, we can sort of see that Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto have managed to now take out Isshiki from the village, and which means that they can go all out in this dimension. I don't know whose dimension is this, and nobody knows at this point in time. But the biggest thing that we can suspect is that this is possibly maybe Momoshiki's dimension. Now, while we are here in this dimension, it means that Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto were able to take out the threat to the villagers. Were able to take out Isshiki from out of the village, which means that they can go all out in battle. They can strategize from here, and having had the intel that they've heard from the previous fight, and with Boruto on the scene, whom I think they're going to use to enhance themselves in this fashion. If Boruto loses consciousness and Momoshiki awakens in Boruto, I think that Uchiha Sasuke is planning to use that to capitalize on the difference that they have between difference in strength that they have in Isshiki, because once Momoshiki can come out, he would know the weaknesses and the Aijutsu abilities, the weaknesses of Aijutsu, the weaknesses of Uchiha, and how to destroy an Uchiha. And I think that's what Sasuke's strategy is about. And you can't blame him. This is the only thing that he has, and this is the only option to try and defeat Isshiki. And I think overall in this chapter, you can see at the very end that Isshiki is now annoyed by the fact that he was teleported by a small blade like Boruto into another dimension, and also he's asking himself questions like, how much of Momoshiki's power can this brat use, and how much has the Kama Steel evolved? And I think it's some of the questions that he has, and now he'll be on alert, and it's something that is quite annoying for him that this is the case, and a small brat like Boruto could stop him from achieving his objective. And I truly think that this is where the preparation for the upcoming chapters is starting from. And again, I think that in the next few chapters we are going to see something exciting, and I wonder how these guys are going to change their strategy against Isshiki, knowing that this guy is far more stronger than them, and they have very limited ways in which they can fight him, because he can absorb ninjutsu, he can shrink objects in size. His abilities are just too difficult to deal with, and it's some of the things that one has to think about in this chapter, and how they're going to deal with it. And my best bet is that from the things that we've seen is that Sasuke wants to use Momoshiki to close up that gap and to create an opportunity for themselves to stay alive and survive in this battle. And I thank you for staying on the video for this long. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and also like the video. I thank you very much. Bye.